Okay, we are in the Adalita of Earth, and in this deck, Adalitas correspond to knights in traditional tarot decks. They represent the fight we often encounter when first defending our path to the outside world. Oh, we're defending the path. That means last week you chose something, didn't you? Remember he said hands off last week? He said this was my action to take. So now because of that action, you're probably on a new path now. And Knights, or the Adalita of Earth, is representing your fight for this new path. Okay, now the associated herb with Adalita of Earth is yucca. Put a new spin on an old tradition. Ground your spirituality in practical ways. To honor your ancestors, honor the land. Now, we're going to describe this card. A young woman finds herself in the desert in winter. A young woman finds herself in the desert in winter. The voices of her elders urge her to ground herself by creating beauty with her hands. Grounding is a very important process in your spiritual walk. You need to be grounded so that when things come your way, you won't be able to be shaken off your path. Okay? She seeks out long, green, reed-like plants. I'm going to show you the picture again. Long, green, reed-like plants, and discovers the glorious yucca. She creates a bridge between her ancestors and the ancestors of the desert by weaving a Bridget's cross, a sacred symbol of her Celtic heritage. So you can see in the picture that she is making the Celtic cross, a Bridget's cross. Bridget's cross. Okay, that's what I'm reading it right. The Adalita of Earth is driven by the power of place. She explores new ways to embody old traditions using what is locally available to her without depleting resources. Reminds me of a story. You know, it always reminds me of a story. Okay, so you remember the story of the lady in the Bible who was, I think it was during a famine, she was poor. And it was just her and her son. And all she had was a little bit of oil left. And she was going to make her last cake for her and her son. And said they were going to die. Okay. But Elijah the prophet came by and said, if you would just make me something out of whatever you have, okay, I promise you that nothing will run out. So this says that she explores new ways to embody old traditions using what is locally available to her without depleting resources. So this lady in the story that I'm telling you about, in the Bible story, only had a small amount of oil left. And Elijah wanted her to use that oil to make him a cake, and told her that if you use this oil, you're going to be able to continue after this and will not run out without depleting resources. So when you're using these purposes, like they said, you are taking and exploring new ways to embody old traditions, and you're taking and using them for a new spiritual purpose. God's going to make sure you're not going to run out. You're going to have resources as long as your intentions are purposeful. Okay? She knows yucca is used for weaving baskets, rope, and shoes. With the spirit of her foremothers behind her, she vows to respect people and medicine of her home. Okay? She explores nature's bounty and creates practical but intuitive connections with the land. Now that's important because we have lost, in some place, we have lost our connection to land and to nature, okay? Because that really is our source. That's where God grounded us. We are grounded in this land and the air and the sun, all of the elements of the earth. And anytime that you find yourself off, you should be able to get yourself regrounded by going outside, touching nature. As you can see in mine, I'm wearing wood earrings, okay? Wood grounds me spiritually. So I wear certain things in order to help keep my energy and my spiritual being in balance. Okay, and that's part of being purposefully connected to nature. Okay? She is in the service of nature without ego. She is committed to an earth-honoring spiritual path wherever she finds herself. And you guys have seen me outside at my tree. I go to my tree and I have a moment and I'll hear what the Lord has to say to me. And I encourage you to find your spot. For each of us, it may be different. But I encourage you to get outside, to reconnect with nature, and find that thing or process that is going to help ground you and balance you. She is realistic and hardworking. Okay, now those are two traits you just absolutely have to have in place. You have to be realistic. You have to look at things from a reality standpoint, okay? And get out of this rose-colored glasses thing. We are all in struggle in some kind of way right now. I don't think there's anybody who's not feeling it just because of the state of our country and COVID and other things that are going on in your life personally. All of us have some type of struggle. So you need to be realistic about where you are, okay? And hardworking. Not getting out of this with some work on your part, okay? It's just not going to happen. Nobody's going to wave a wand and say it's done. It's going to require something of you. Okay, so one of the first ways that you can craft with Adelaide of Earth is to honor the ancient ones. Create important symbols of your heritage with what grows in your area. You can get things from your garden, or if you just look around where you live and see, you might find, I always find the prettiest little flowers when I go walking by the lake. So you can get anything that your spirit is drawn to and use it for your crafting. Bring it in the house, put it on your altar. We're going to cover altars later. Another way is teach the power of place. Learn the story of the yucca moth and share it with others. Take a class and learn about weaving fiber with yucca. Okay, so those are some things that you can do with yucca. Now, of course, we always have a bridge. We always got to have a bridge. Always got to have a bridge. Okay, so our bridge for this week is the Five of Pentacles. Okay, pentacles are coins. Pentacles usually are in some way talking about our wealth. I always tell you, pentacles is not about money. It's about wealth. So our Five of Pentacles, I will share with you what it says. All aspects of your life are open to disaster. That's just true. Every day. We don't know what we're going to get every day. Physical, emotional, and financial. Physical, emotional, and financial. Worry, stress, and insecurity. Big things to not have on the top of your list in this season, okay? You have to let those things go. Because worry, stress, and insecurity only increase, what did we say earlier in the week about that sadness or the anger? Those elements are only going to increase that, and you don't want to stay in that energy. Okay, so that is just a note for you to be aware of worry, stress, and insecurity. There is possible unemployment, loss of home, health problems, weight gain or loss, and financial ruin. And these are all things that are in the air right now, because if you just look at what's going on every day in our country, we stand when we walk out your house because of what we've gone through with the pandemic. All of these things are possible for any of us. The possibility of losing your job, the possibility of losing your home, the possibility of health problems if you contract this disease that's going around. There's a lot of things out here that can put you at risk, which is why it's important for you to understand how to stay balanced and how to use this Adalita of Earth to move forward and put a spin on old traditions and do something different and new, refreshing, to help get you through this rough period. Okay? You are at the bottom. That's just, it's a reality. A lot of people are struggling financially right now because of the effects of the pandemic. As some of the businesses are now coming out of that mode, they're finding that, well, first of all, there's like a lot of restrictions, especially if you're a place that opens to the public. There are less people who are available for work. And depending on your industry, the demand may be up or down. And I know in a couple of our businesses, our demand has been a little low. It hasn't changed our service options. I mean, we're still giving the same level of service, but the demand has definitely gone down since the pandemic. So those are things that we have to adjust to. Okay, now that we're in this new world, we are on a new path. You understand? So you have to adjust to those things. You can't look at them and resort to the worry, stress, and insecurity. You got to have faith. You have to know what you know is yours. So the suggestion from this Five of Pentacles is to seek support from religion or spiritual institutions, which means that this is a spiritual battle, guys. So you can't look at it for what it is materially. This is spiritual battle, which means that that's where that Adalita of Earth comes in planning your foundation for this new path that you're on. Okay? So that's our bridge for this week, Five of Pentacles. Okay? Now, what is our growth solution? Growth solution. I love these cards because they're always so beautiful. And this is the most beautiful card. I can't wait to share it with you. And the ironic thing is, like, it's never ironic. Let me say that, because God, there's never accidents with God. Okay? It's that it's orange. Look, I hope you can see the pretty colors. Courage. And it matches my earrings. I am in this orange energy today, in which orange corresponds to our sacral, not sacral. Yeah, it is the sacral, sorry, chakra. So that's the energy I'm in today, okay? So, our growth solution for this week is courage. And without even reading the card, I can tell you to face this Five of Pentacles with all of these things that may be coming your way. To face this Five of Pentacles, okay? You're going to need courage. You're going to need courage, okay? I am stronger than fear. I just want you to repeat that. I am stronger than fear. And bigger than doubt. See how you're casting out that insecurity? Just from speaking that, I am stronger than fear and bigger than doubt. You're casting out that insecurity. I am light, and I remain light all the time. I am light. I trust in God and stand tall before the test of life. Ooh, God knows what to give you. You see this? And this is not even me doing this. This is God pulling these cards, and they come together. I love the Lord. I trust in God, and I stand tall before the test of life. I stand tall before this Five of Pentacles. I stand tall before this Five of Pentacles because I trust in God. I grow and become wiser every day through every challenge. I grow and become stronger and wiser through every challenge. I am a being of new life. You're on a new path. That means you have to walk differently, but you got to walk in light, okay? And some of those old things that you used to do, they just got to go away. If you find yourself falling back to some old habits, I know I used to tell clients to do this. I used to tell them to wear rubber bands. I have on my bracelets today, okay? But I would tell them to wear a rubber band, especially when they were trying to undo something. And I would tell them to wear a rubber band as a reminder. When you're trying to do something new, you want to break an old habit, and sometimes it's not easy. So I am a being of new life. I am stronger than fear and bigger than doubt. So when you get yourself, if you find yourself in a moment where you're struggling with that, with this new path, you can wear a rubber band, and any time that you find yourself getting ready to go back to an old habit, let's say if you're saying things, negative self-talk, or you're trying to break a habit and how you respond, and every time you see yourself do it, take that rubber band and just do a little pluck. And that's just a reminder, okay, no, I'm not doing this anymore. Don't hurt yourself, okay? It's just a little pluck to say, oh, yes, we're not doing this anymore. You know how you've seen some people wear those little reminders on their finger? They wear a little reminder on their finger or something. I mean, that's what the rubber band represents, okay? It's just a little something for you to do a little quick reminder to self. We're doing something different, okay? So let's review your cards for this week, your growth reading. You have your Adalita of Earth. Adalita of Earth. You're on a new path. We're on a new path. We're going to find a way to recreate some old traditions in a new way. Your bridge for this week is your Five of Pentacles, which is warning you of these risks that are out there. And these things don't have anything to do with what you've done or haven't done. It's just what's out there. Okay? How are you going to master this and get over this bridge and meet your goals and stay on the new path? Courage. Courage. You're going to repeat this to yourself. I am stronger than fear and bigger than doubt. I am a being of new life. And this is a Life Calling Coach, and I encourage you to live on purpose and not by accident. I thank you again for following and subscribing to the Life Calling Coach on YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. On Twitter, I'm Calling Coach. Okay? I also encourage you to visit my website, TheLifeCallingCoach.com, where you will find resources for you to help do your coaching journey at home. I have upcoming workshops for this year, so please continue to check the website for registration. The support group is on and active. The next meeting is in March 17th, I believe. So registration for that is open. You can go to Eventbrite, or you can go to my website, TheLifeCallingCoach.com, and register. The support group is free, but there is also a donation option if you would like to schedule a bonus meeting with me one-on-one after your support group. You can choose that option as well. But I try to keep the support group free so that it can be an open forum for people to come in, for mainly this season where we're focusing on women, to come in and be able to process the things that you need to process so that you can move forward in this new path. Okay? So again, I thank you for tuning in for Wellness Wednesday. And again, I encourage you to live on purpose and not by accident. Thank you.